Hello everyone, thanks for watching my channel over here. Trying to bring to you guys the breaking news that we have from the war and Israel, and also with Iran, and things not looking good right now. Look like the drones just arrived in Israel, and Israel's trying to stop those drones. As you can see, we have two shots, one from CBS News, the other one is CNBC. Let's take a look. Looks like CBS News doesn't look like live shots. Look like more this. I think they already show those. So as you can see, crypto took a big hit. As soon as the news come out, Bitcoin was trading anywhere in a range of $70,000. It dropped to $60,000. Dropped like $10,000. It's recording right now at 64,000. So it was a good buy at 61, 62 probably. So now let's take a look. It's the bullfight. The bullfight trying to recovery from this news. Let's take a look. Let's see who's saying something.
This is what his statement said. I condemn in the strongest terms the Iranian regime's reckless attack against Israel. These strikes risk inflaming tensions and destabilizing the region. Iran has once again demonstrated that it is intent on sowing chaos in its own backyard. The UK will continue to stand up for Israel's security and that of all of our regional partners, including Jordan and Iraq. Alongside our allies, we are urgently working to stabilize the situation and prevent further escalation. No one wants to see more bloodshed. Well, our political correspondent, Tamara Cohen, has this up some from all the reaction from Westminster.
Well, Rishi Sunak was the first European leader to respond and has offered staunch support for Israel in his statement. He said tonight, I condemn in the strongest terms the Iranian regime's reckless attack against Israel. These strikes risk inflaming tensions and destabilizing the region. He said Iran has once again demonstrated that it is intent on sowing chaos in its own backyard. The UK will continue to stand up for Israel's security and that of our regional partners, including Jordan and Iraq. Alongside our allies, we are urgently working to stabilize the situation and prevent further escalation. No one wants to see more bloodshed. What does Rishi Sunak mean by working with our allies to stabilise the situation? Well, the government have not yet commented on reports that we're getting from the region that UK fighter jets, we have air bases, of course, in Cyprus, might be involved in trying to intercept some of these attacks coming from Iran. We have not had any confirmation of that yet. We may well get it in the coming hours, but there are reports from the region that UK jets may be involved. We've also had a statement from the opposition leader, Keir Starmer, which very much reflects similar sentiment to Rishi Sunak. He said that the international community has been urging restraint, and yet again he said Iran has chosen a dangerous path. We continue to stand up for Israel's security, he says, and that the Labour Party supports all measures designed to restore calm. We won't really know what those are until we see the full scale of this and understand what exactly the UK and others' involvement might be. Certainly there's been deep concern about this in government. We know that Lord Cameron, the Foreign Secretary, spoke to the Iranian Foreign Minister just 2 days ago, urging Iran not to escalate into what he called a wider war. Clearly those warnings have gone unheeded, and the UK will be urgently talking to allies in the next few hours about what this escalation might mean and, of course, what role Western countries can play, most probably in supporting the US in the next steps. But staunch support for Israel from Rishi Sunak and wanting to help Britain's allies in the region to take all the steps that they can to restore calm.
And you can see live shots there of both southern Israel and Tel Aviv. No visible drones there now, unlike what we saw over the skies of Jerusalem about an hour ago.
Action in the West Bank, which could also be very concerning to the Israelis. So I read a report earlier today about some severe tensions that arose after an Israeli teenager was murdered in the West Bank. So what we could see, probably the worst case course of action on Israel's perspective, is this massive strike on Iran wasn't just one wave, if it's several waves tied with massive attacks from Hezbollah and an uprising of some type in the West Bank. That could be very bad for Israel and the region. And going back to your question about the response, what the response might be in something like that, which is nearly existential threat for Israel, certainly everything would be on the table, some type of massive response, most likely by air and by missile strike, because Israel has missiles as well, directed at important targets inside Iran.
Charles, in the weeks leading up to this, there was international calls for a ceasefire. There were criticisms of the massive number of casualties in Gaza. One of the biggest headlines was about those aid workers that were killed by the IDF. Now the conversation is about an attack from Iran. We have seen so many of the same people and organizations and countries that were urging Israel to change action.
The Quds forces is the external.
Entirely with Israel. Is this potentially a strategic mistake on the part of Iran?
I think that remains to be seen. It's an excellent question. So I think in Iran's calculus, this is something that they had to do. This is their backs up against the wall. They've been attack against their embassy, killing one of their major leaders in the RGC. So I think Iran sees this in their interests, and it'll be interesting to see what happens afterwards. So you mentioned the aid workers that were killed in that unfortunate incident inside Gaza. I think that what we're looking for right now, Lana, is for all of these major players, countries around the world, non-state actors, non-government organizations, to really prevail upon both sides to keep this from getting into something bigger.
And on that front, we have known that these attacks were coming ever since April 1st, and Iran blaming Israel for those military leaders that were killed in Damascus. What is the significance, explain for our viewers, of Iran not making these attacks more of a surprise? We knew that retaliation was happening, and we knew when it was likely to happen.
Yeah, we also knew, based on past experiences, that something like this is likely, like a show of force. So when the American forces killed Soleimani, who was also a big leader in the RGC, was thorn in our side in Iraq and elsewhere around the world, after he was killed by the U.S., Iran shot a bunch of missiles at U.S. forces inside Iraq. Some troops were unfortunately wounded, but no one was killed, and there was no further escalation. So Iran thought that they saved face. They carried out a mission against the United States in response to that. And then the issue was largely over. So there might be something to be said about that as a pattern for what's happening now with Israel.
All right. Charles Faint, thank you.
Thanks, Lana.
We're going to continue to monitor this situation. You're looking at Bethlehem images taken just moments ago of the skies above Bethlehem. We are going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Okay, so we're looking at right now the SP500, the SPX, that I draw some conclusions that I have on this chart. So I'm gonna zoom in. As you can see it, I'm not the chart master, but as you can see, like, we have some type of pattern occurring in the same type of period of time. I went down probably like 2 years. Let me see if I did more. No, I only did 2 years. So it started in 2020. You have this 2,533 days or weeks. This is a week, which is all the way up to 2022. And then we have this kind of like correction down to 21%. It was this 959. Then I think points. I think this is the points. 112% run from 2020 for the bottom of 2020 all the way up to 2022. I don't want to take this as a dip, but the second one it was more like it's like more like a correction, and then from that it was a dip with 21% in June of 2022. Then I let this part over here kind of in blank. I don't want to like this bounce big and forth. I don't want to like I just did a one over here, which is another 10% correction. And then from the 10% correction, right off on March 2023, we run 16%. Then we corrected again on September. Pretty much October was being the bottom, and with 11% correction. And then we have in 2023 October, we run put it big, 26% into this break down here. So now what we are, so whether we're gonna have this kind of like breaks over here with the total was 9.4%, 9.40%, which is could be a health retract. Right now it's only 1%. So now I can comfortable start to draw this downside for the SP 500. So as you can see it, we have my indicators kind of like some support lines over here, and also this support line from this indicator over here at 47.67. So then we have the second support line at 45.84. But the bottom, the big buy, the big bulls, the bull, it's down here in the bottom with those big blocks. And those are the ones that actually kind of support this bull run. So I don't know if we're gonna see it. See, right now we don't have at this weekly, but let's take a look on, let's say, the day chart. Still down. You just have a resistance from this my indicator over here at the top at 52.57. The sell, everything kind of show the sell. We got little two buys over here, but no blocks for sell. Let's take a look in the 4 hours chart. Also no block. I would say we might gonna see some at 2 hours. Let's go to 2 hours. Yep. 2 hours we see two blocks. The first one 52.63, and then the second one 52.22. So kind of pushing the price all the way down at we are right now. I think we close 51. That's the low. We close 51.23. Pretty much sure on Monday we're gonna see a gap down on the SP 500, and that's pretty much where we are at this point with this war that was kind of like up front. Somehow I advise that this will gonna happen by the CIA. CNBC post a comment, and they pretty much like bring the news on that, saying that Iran will attack Israel in the coming days. We had the solar thing. We have a lot of like, what can I say, distraction from the media and now boom, that's what happened. So if you're not paying attention, if you have money in the market, if you're not following the news, if you stay behind, kind of like pretty much you're gonna pay off at this point. So right now, that's what. So we can pretty much. I don't even gonna draw a line, but it looks like it's very clear that the two lines over here kind of cross, don't going down. So I think we might gonna open on Monday. I would say at least down here, 50. What is that? Wait, what happened? Let's go live. ABC Live. We lost the feed on the other one. So we changed for the ABC Live. Probably click somewhere. But I should not click. Anyway, so then we have this this kind of line over here. So I think that we are at this point. That's pretty much what I think is gonna open on Monday, even lower, like 5,000. It could be a number, which is this bot over here. And from there, I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna draw this kind of like this indicator here that show me what percentage. So it would say probably 11%. I don't think so. Maybe 9. They keep saying about 7 and 9%. Probably that's what we gonna see it. So to go on my updates on my open strat plays, let's go my save trades. As you can see, the only one we have open at this moment is the PVH. So I have to do some ones that I didn't do it over here. So let's go. Let's start doing some of the ones that I didn't have put on from last week. So the PVH is still open on my Robinhood account. The one I closed here, but I didn't close. I think I might have a mistake. Well, let's build long put. I should have changed when I had a chance, but I didn't do it. Was play because I got on the call. So I got the $40. $40 put, which I pay in that one $20. This one I open right after the earnings because I knew it that this is gonna go down. So I opened that one and let's save. Let's put it like a long play after ER. Save the play. So the next one, it's let's go Golden Sachs. I did 2 plays over here. On the Golden Sachs, I did. Let's see. Okay, let's do the call first. So the call is $3.95 buy call. And I pay how much in this one? I pay, oops, I think $3.95 call for the 19, $4.19. Oh, this is the put. Switch to call. So this $5.57. So then I sold it to call spread $397.50, $4.62. Add sell call $3.95 397.50. Got this at 462. So in this play, it was a bull play. So the stock has to go all the way up to 4.5% for me to make money all the way towards the end, which is probably is not gonna happen. So, but let's save this for earnings. The thing over here, ER play for Goldman Sachs. The thing over here is something like this. If the earnings is good, the stock is gonna be like a smash because the downside on the how can I say, on the news for the war. But if the stock, the earnings is bad, so we gonna see it a downside push with the news and everything. So this could be ugly. So already saved. Let's build another one. Still Goldman Sachs. So let's remove this. And let's remove this. My other play here, it's the puts, which I did because I never know where to go, and because I was short in cash, so I had to do something this dramatic, buy and sell. So I bought the 382.50 and I pay 498. And then I sold the 380 for, let's see, 405. Now this is a short position. As you can see, it the profit would be the same that I have on that other one. This I put a $93 in play. I think the other one was something around $80 in play. Both I was losing at this moment because I'm gonna save this play. I'm gonna save as a new trade, and I'm gonna close over here. So now we update the three that I have. So bear put, bear call. Call spread, bull and bear. As you can see, a bull and bear. So bear go down, bull go up. Goldman Sachs Monday we had the earnings. Let's see how it goes. So because I like to do a lot, of course. So I did another. Let's see. SPY. I think it's this one. Bull call spread debit. Yep, debit. And this one on the SPY, I did. The cost was $62. So I sell the 510 call, 511, 510 for 409. And I purchased the 509 call for $471. And save. Because something is about to happening. Ha ha ha. So then what I did, I'm gonna build a bear put spread. Love the bear put spread, which I did with. Oh, let me go back here, guys. Cancel. Let's go save trades. This pie wasn't for the 17. The call for 16. Had to change over here. 16. It's 509, 510. I had to do it again. The call I buy 471. And this purchase for 409. The 16. Sorry, I didn't pay attention. Save over existing. Alright. So now on the let's build put spread spy. So we had the 15 and the put is the I bought the 510 for 250, and I sold the 508 for 185. Okay, so as you can see it, I put $73 in display to make $200 for 1.3% downside for Monday. It's $200 even if you go down from the opening. If you go down already like 1.8%, if you go down to 500 at opening at 9:30, I make the $200. Boom, cash. So profit $127 profit. The chance this happening according with the computer was only 39%. Do I save this? No. So because whoops. Computer started acting weirdo. Because something is about to happening. So, all right, where we are. Let's take a look. Save trades. So, let's recap. This is my Hobby Hood account. Okay, let's stop this one. It's fine. On Golden Sachs, Bear Bull and Spy Bear Bull, and the play PVH still open. As you can see, both negative 100%. I'm guessing this PFH with all the buys, am I gonna dip? Because economy, inflation, the war, and everything, it kind of holds strong on the 190, 110, but the bear is gonna come up eating the whole thing. I'm not 100, but I'm 85% sure that this is gonna go down to close to $90. Okay, that's one thing. Especially if it's SPY dip like almost 1.5%, 2%. And in this case, this could happen. I don't even know if they're in the SP 500. But anyway, Goldman Sachs, a good earnings, but bad reflection, and the things they're gonna go down, but not as much. Probably just enough for me to make some kind of money. If the bear side, with the war and everything, go, from bad to worse, I'm gonna make cash on this one. So let's review how much. So this one, I invested $93 to make it $250, which is the profit on $157. Max profit. Okay, let's go back one. So on the bull side, I invest $95 to make $155. So net, if I lose on the call side, 95, minus my profit, it's gonna be something around $70 on the Goldman Sachs. Now let's go to the SPY. The put is a little bit dangerous, but it's because it's Monday. So the play here, I put is $73 to make $127. And if I lose on the call, but the call is for the next day, say if we hit at the bottom and kind of go back a little bit, I might have a chance to recoup. But so the call is $60 to make $38. So on the call side, it would be bad because I would have losing north of 73, so it would be like down $30 some. So this would be bad. But now that the stock might have go down, so I'm gonna make another $60. So total net are gonna be $130 profit for Monday on my calculation. Plus, I have this too that I don't think play is gonna go close to 40, but just in case, say drop 11%, it has to drop like something around 23% for me to start to make money at 22% at open. Towards the end of the day, maybe 50 cents money back. That would be nice, $30 profit. Anyway, the money back at $20 up, I should be fine. Okay, but at this point, I really don't know if this is gonna be dropping, like Bitcoin dropped today 10%. So I don't know, even more than that, I think. So saying that, kind of like that's where we are on my place. And back what I was talking about before, in the SP 500 and the SPX index, the SP 500 index. That's what I'm seeing, that what's probably going to happen. Already we know that this line, it's broken. So this big candle could be like a engulf candle and all that. And that's kind of like where we are right now. Let's back. Let's see if we can show you guys some feed on them.
Will have gone into those shelters tonight, hearing the sirens in their towns and cities. Educational activities have also been cancelled for school children in the days ahead, because the fear is there may be another attack from the Iranians, even though they say it has concluded. The retaliation from the Iranians is, of course, from an airstrike attributed to Israel happening on April the 1st, which hit a consulate in Damascus, killing a number of senior generals from the Iranian Revolutionary Guards. Iran has been vowing a response to that, and tonight we saw that response. Now, Israel has been on tenterhooks really for the last 48 hours. There have been warnings from the United States security agencies that an attack was imminent, and tonight we saw the shape and form of that attack.
Yeah, Alex, and so far, certainly it does seem as those air defences have kicked in and they have worked. No reports of any casualties so far, but the language between Iran and Israel remains heightened. No signs of a de-escalation so far between the two.
No, there's no direct communication between the Iranians and the Israelis. It's all done through back channels. I mean, look, there is a best scenario where this attack happened. Iran can show to its domestic audience, project across the region that it responded to what it sees as a really grave attack, the attack on the consulate. And this may be the end of it. But what we're hearing from the Israeli officials, it doesn't sound like that. It says that there will be a serious response. This, remember, is an unprecedented attack on Israeli soil, and they may very well feel, for reasons of their own deterrence, that they need to react for it. It will be very interesting to see what the United States, or to hear what the United States is saying privately to Israeli officials, because of course they don't want this to erupt into a major regional confrontation. And that's the real danger here, that this spins into a regional war and drags in multiple countries. We're hearing from the Egyptians. They are calling for restraints on all sides, but you know, this is a very destabilizing moment in the Middle East, coming at a time, of course, after the October the 7th attacks. There's a war raging in Gaza. Israel is vowing to destroy Hamas, rescue its hostages. It hasn't finished doing that. That's still going on. Again, that's extremely volatile. And then on the northern border with Israel, Hezbollah, a paramilitary organization from Lebanon, there are daily exchanges of fire there. That in itself is enough to ignite, under ordinary circumstances, to ignite a regional war. And there's no sign of any end to that either. Tonight we know that Hezbollah fired a barrage of missiles again into Israel. Again, that is inflaming the general situation. Make no mistake, this is an extraordinarily dangerous moment.
Yeah, and Israel's allies have been at the forefront tonight in shooting down some of those drones, both the US and the UK saying that they were involved in shooting down some drones before they could make it to Israeli territory. How much of an influence does the Biden administration have over Netanyahu here, and how much can those behind-the-scenes conversations help to de-escalate the situation?
Well, let's start with the planes this evening. We heard warplanes overhead. According to the IDF, tens of fighter jets have been up in the skies. They've been heading outside Israeli airspace. We saw them fly over our heads in the direction of Jordan earlier on this evening. And they have been tasked with defending the nation, trying to take these drones out before they reached Israeli soil. Now, according to the IDF, they have been coordinating their response with US Central Command, as have the British. British fighter jets have also been up in the air, and they have taken out some of the drones, as have US fighter jets. The level of leverage or influence that the Americans will have on the Israelis, it's really hard to say. Certainly, the relationship between the two countries has been frayed as a result of the very high civilian casualties in Gaza. The Americans have urged the Israelis, particularly President Biden, to show restraint. He has gone on the record and said a number of times that he doesn't think the war is being conducted in a proper way because of the mounting civilian casualties. He's also warned them of going into Rafah in the southern part of the Strip, which is one of the last refuges of where Hamas are holed up. So, you know, the relationship is a very difficult one. One thing to say, because the Americans and also the British have come to the defense of Israel tonight, that might have some bearing on what they do in terms of their response. That may give them some leverage. But again, I take you back to what I was saying earlier. This is, you know, it's an unprecedented attack on Israel, and, you know, the chance of miscalculation, the chance of further escalation are really great.
All right, for now, our international correspondent there, Alex Rossi in Jerusalem for us. Thank you. Just going to bring you some breaking news coming into us from the United Nations. The Secretary General there, Antonio Guterres, releasing a statement in the last few moments saying that he condemns serious escalation by Iran with the attack on Israel. He goes on to say that he is deeply alarmed by the very real danger of devastating region-wide escalation there, and is urging maximum restraint from all parties after Iran has attacked Israel. So that the latest there from the UN's Secretary General Antonio Guterres. We'll keep a close eye on any further reaction from various people across the world who are now.
Okay, that's me. That's my. I want to be a bullfight on this. I want to be looking at the way we can learn a couple things. Always paying attention. You're looking at Bitcoin right now, trading at 64,100. Big support at 63,000, kind of like hit the bottom all the way down to 61,300. But I don't know. I think Bitcoin normally for the last couple of years being showing the situation on the market, you know, especially the low market. I don't want to be correlated, but that's what happened. If we have this dip on the cryptocurrency right now, we might gonna have the dip on Monday, which is the bad thing. Of course, the wars, it's bad. People make money on that. That's bad. But we're gonna be praying, asking God for wisdom, and always with the good things, stop all this war, all this violence, but it's right now the scenario doesn't look too good. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this broadcasting, and see you next time.
A fairly recent proxy of Iran, really only becoming a true proxy of Iran after 2015 and the attack of Saudi Arabia, UAE, and the Arab coalition on them in Yemen, while Hezbollah is real Iranian creation. So there is 100% control over Hezbollah by Iran. There is not 100% control of Iran on the Houthis. The Iraqi and Syrian proxies of Iran are interestingly quite silent.